Alrighty, bit shooters, I keep redoing this video. It keeps coming out over 2 gigabytes, so I got to cut out even more. But here we go. Didn't got the New World Order was doing. So let's go get on to some more of the important stuff. First couple of screenshots. 2 weather forecasts. This one is from the Farmer's Almanac. Look in the middle, hibernation zone, glacial, snow-filled. On the left, you got normal, and of course, keeping California dry. Chilly, shivers, blah, 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 but you get the picture. Let me pause here. I temporarily blew this up kind of big so you could see it on purpose. Right there, the darker red, or that purple is 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s. You get the picture. Now, this is NOAA's monthly or bi-monthly, whatever you want to call it. That's September, October of this year. Look how warm it's supposed to be staying. October, November. Look how much warm. This is averages and their guesstimate, propaganda, forecasting, whatever. November, December. Still outrageously warmer than it should be everywhere for winter. December, January, February. Oh, and February. January, February, March. Oh shit, sorry about that. February, March, April 23. You get the picture. I'm back to that one. But you get, now, if it stays that warm throughout the winter, we're going to be in deep shit. Come spring, summer. If you want to go take these as what's... Okay, this is part, or just a quickie on that bill they just passed. And of course, all alt media and even mainstream media is making a big deal of the $80 billion for IRS, including enforcement audits, which everybody wants to talk about. That's $80 billion funding for the IRS. 79.6. It's over the next 10 years, with more than half going to enforcement. As some channels have been saying, that's going to be for civil unrest to protect their buildings, and maybe or maybe not for some of the enforcement. But you could throw civil unrest into the fact that things will start falling apart as the climate change underneath geoengineering continues to heat up, and you've got idiots doing things they should not do or don't need to do, like going after stupid IRS buildings. Oh, dang. Oh, let me pause. Alrighty, bit shooters, I had to go and look. I accidentally pushed stop, so let's move on. California opened up a huge wastewater recycling plant so they can turn your shit water into drinking water, and we're going to be seeing more of that. This is kind of blurry, but this goes with the Richie from Boston clip. I forgot to add this into it. CNN technical director admits to pushing COVID and going after Trump. Sorry that's so blurry, but you can Google it. Oh, god dang it. Let me see if I can get that. That's a bad picture. That was actually April of 21. So for that, what that's worth, let's pause and move on. This propaganda crap we've seen on the news the last, 2-3 months now. West drought solution, divert Mississippi River water to the Colorado River. Nebraska curious canal to nowhere would siphon water from Colorado. They passed a bill in April to begin with $50 million of $500 million to build a canal. That's not going to happen. More propaganda to distract as everybody dies. Desperate lawmakers discuss piping ocean water to fill Great Salt Lake. Why does California want to build its own $16 billion water pipeline? Not going to happen. This wonderful thing they did, I think last year, supply chain issues of carbon dioxide creating shortage of beer in the U.S. I've seen no shortage, and in every supermarket I go to, both sides of the aisles are completely full of all those flavored seltzer waters. No shortage whatsoever. Propaganda, and the channels love to push it because they're supposed to. Low water levels risk closing, Europe's vital Rhine River. The drought across Europe is drying up rivers, killing fish, and continues. Oh, I had to show this again when they brought this up, and the channels brought it up. There's going to be a great earthquake. Matter of fact, Marfugel milked tens of thousands from his sheep to do a Cascadia documentary. And like I tried to point out back then, over here we got Colorado and the Nevada mountains and all that. A flood wouldn't do that. All those mountain ranges, I think there's 14ers or 12-teens or whatever the fuck, they would have to sink to get that water up there. lame shit these people propagate. Why? Because they're supposed to, because they fall for the agenda. And as I've been stating, and as it's true every season except summer is getting shorter, a sign of trouble for people in the environment. Damn right, people, we are in deep shit, especially if that NOAA forecast is right and we stay too warm throughout this country through the winter. I just remembered I forgot to put some screenshots in here of a couple months ago here in Colorado. They closed at least 4 different rivers to fishing because the water was so low. Rio Grande and Rhine rivers are both drying up, and they aren't the only ones, as climate change, i.e. geoengineering, continues to take a toll on multiple continents. Another one, this one throwing in, I think you pronounce that, the Loire River in France broke records for its low water levels, the Danube, Rhine, Yanks, and Colorado rivers. There was a few of these I saw on the news. I forgot to Google for them, but there were some states that had the algae blooms and that other shit going on. And that, of course, will increase because with water decrease, water not moving, rainwater not filling lakes and such, and the heating and shrinkage of the levels of lakes, you're going to get more of that algae in lakes, ponds, and the oceans. Fact of life. And I believe I showed this before. An extreme heat belt will impact over 100 million Americans in the next 30 years. That's happening right now. How do we know? Because we're living in it. Okay, now a bit from Richie from Boston. My Bluetooth isn't working, but I believe this is loud enough. I'll record this bit for when I do my video later, but Richie showed this, where he showed a clip where they were handing, this was some sort of popsicles in some sort of store somewhere. But then he did a clip talking about where they were actually handing these kind of cricket things out to kids, but they did not show them eating them. And in Richie's last video, which I'm going to record a clip from, he claimed they were eating them and that he had other videos of them eating them, which is just propaganda bullshit because that's what channels do. Then he did this. This is 2 videos later, claiming him and Mike Decker were surrounded by 3 or 4 different law enforcement agencies because they were filming and had an issue with one of them vehicles spraying crickets. Mosquitoes. 2 videos later, he did a second part stating the same thing, and people were questioning him in the comments. Well, he doesn't do comments on what the fuck he's talking about. But then he says, Mike Decker's house does have cameras, but he does not know how to access them. So why hasn't Mike Decker accessed them? Okay, I guess I won't pause this time. Oh, nope, I did not watch that one. No, that is the one I watched. Hang on, Paul, I gotta pause a second. Oh, this one here, back on April 12th, he finally came out, as I said, that he is getting all his information, as he's been doing for years, from Dane Wigington on geoengineeringwatch.org. If you watch that video, it's one of his shorter ones, where he showed a USGS doc. Not April 12th, this month. From back in, I think it was 65, explaining how to kill the ground soils of bacteria, how to kill the trees from the roots up, from the tops down, and so on. Pause. Okay, I'm going to play a clip from this video, and I got, if you scroll back to my videos, if they will still play, because BitChute doesn't like us small channels, but I've got videos exposing the bullshit and propaganda of Project Veritas, starting with that nurse a couple years ago claiming she was exposing this doctor over COVID, and she finally disappeared. Her GoFundMe went, last I checked, it was $517,000. Oh, I'm going to be fired, send me money. You know how they do this. Now, in that video from Richie, I'm about to show a clip of with Project Veritas. He did go to Geoengineering Watch again, so he's finally coming out of that closet on that. But let me pause here because we have to listen to this Veritas bullshit. Okay, and again, as I'm about to play this clip from an alleged Project Veritas undercover operation. Isn't it amazing how these people that claim to be whoever the fuck they are revealing all this to undercover Project Veritas people like they would talk to anybody about this stuff they know? I'm going to tell you right now, it's not even legit to begin with, but let's see this.
Shall we? I want you to pay close attention to what the wiki tag is. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperature and weather patterns, mainly caused by human activity and burning of fossil fuels. So their answer to this would be get rid of human activity and fossil fuels. We're already seeing that happen.
Oh, but I didn't want this part, but
This isn't a theory. This is a conspiracy, at any rate.
It's just like a COVID fatigue, so like whenever a new story comes out, they're going to latch onto it. They've already announced in their office that once the public will be open to it, we're going to start focusing mainly on climate, like global warming, and that's going to be our next
The word that Charlie Chester, 33, CNN technical director, is looking for is lie. He's saying after the first lie that we perpetrated, COVID-19, once that wears off, we're going to focus on the next lie. That's exactly what he's saying. Period. His word, not mine.
Well, yes, this is a real CNN guy, mysteriously and surprisingly talking about shit to who the fuck knows from. Anyway, another thing I want to add so I don't forget. Richie, like I said, come out of the closet on Dane Wigington, so he knows that this planet is heating up from the geoengineering, yet he's going to believe this shit where the CNN guy says that climate change via geoengineering and the planet heating up is not real. So, a dumbass.
This would be our focus. Our focus was to get Trump out of office, right? Without saying that, that's what it was, right? So our next thing is going to be for climate change awareness.
What does that look like?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I have a feeling it's just going to be like constantly showing videos of like decline in ice and weather warming up and like the effects it's having on the economy and really talking
Besides that,
I don't know, like just yeah. I imagine that.
Isn't it awfully convenient? She asks the right questions, including about Zuckerberg, and he willingly answers them. Oh, fucking lame.
He's got his council, and they go like discuss like where they think
so that's like the next.
pandemic like story like that will be to death. But that one's got longevity. You know what I mean? It's not like there's a definitive ending to the pandemic or it's gonna taper off to a point that it's not a problem anymore. One of it's gonna take years. I'll probably be able to miss that.
And why is that going to take years, even though he's claiming they're milking something that doesn't exist? Because it is really heating up. If you can't see that, you're fucking Richie from Boston or Marfugel thing.
Okay, I was going to show the clip he showed from Fox saying we're going to have climate lockdowns. We're not. Just like Richie predicted lockdowns on COVID variants and monkeypox, and it's like that dumb shit's supposed to. Anyway, we're not going to see all that. We'll see more flight restrictions because, as I showed in one clip here in Denver, and I'm sure there's others I'm sure there's others they're not revealing because the atmosphere up higher is so hot that planes have to fly lower. But I got to skip forward here. Okay, I think I might repeat myself here, but
Not see no lockdown over this planet heating up, and like Dane Wigington's been saying, if this keeps up, we're going to see Venus syndrome. We are going to see civil unrest. That's going to be coming obviously in the Southwest before anywhere else. And I don't want to get ahead of myself because there's some stuff I'm going to show on a couple of forecasts before I even show this. But you got Fox on the propaganda, CNN, and of course they're using Project Veritas. They gave Project Veritas a big name that's supposed to be legit to all media so they could push for it. It's just like they used Rogan and Alex Jones. You know, every day they said to pump up a new bigger person to get more of the alt media to believe. Well, there's a Denver forecast for the next 10 days. It's 90... Where's it up top there? It's 92 right now. Look at that. All the way to, so far, September 8th. And completely fucking sunny. Sucks ass when you got to stay outside because you can't air condition your RV. Okay, this is a grassy area I was next to for over a year. I moved because, oh, kind of yucky on this picture. This is some of the meth zombies that hang around here. This picture, I moved my RV across the street from that grass spot to here to get away from them, so they moved in right behind me. I'm actually sitting in front of my RV there on my lawn chair. And you can see him, he's actually smoking off the foil. Then there's a bunch more of them. I moved a block away, and so there I sit now. It's more desolate, so they don't want to come over. Oh, don't want to forget this. Water deliveries halted to farmers in Oregon, California, because they had to follow along with them government restrictions that they have recently thrown in. So you can expect more of that, plus whatever's going on we're not hearing about. The Mediterranean, as we know it, is vanishing, drying up, leaving power supplies in limbo. Thousands of people have died from the heat that they're not telling us about. Because, like it says right there in quotes, geoengineering kills. Oh, I can't find it unless I thought I took a screenshot, but there was an article that's been on the news how I believe it's an Alaskan snow crab has disappeared. And here's a Biden administration announcing $310 million, which would maybe cover one city to reuse your shit water for either drinking or crops, probably for drinking, because we're going to get that bad pretty soon, where there are no crops being watered. Europe under the worst drought in 500 years, which means ever. Okay, they want to geoengineer the oceans to absorb even more CO2, which I don't even know if it's possible anymore, and it's of course killing everything in the oceans, which is sorry but pure fact, no matter what you want to believe from any other channel. I believe I touched on this. Everybody, the channels, alt media, mainstream, addressing the $80 billion for the IRS, while they're not addressing the over $300 billion for climate change, geoengineering infrastructure, and who knows where that $300 billion is actually going. Probably in their preps. That's a blurry screenshot, but they had to close Boulder Reservoir, Boulder, Colorado swim beach due to bacteria from water and overheated water. Scientists are now saying that's kind of blurry. Oh, come on. It's time to prepare for human extinction. The global warming could become catastrophic. It already is right now. Temperatures rise. Heat sets off chain of events which have not yet been predicted. They have been predicting them, and they have known about them even longer. Major world cities, including London, face danger of drought. Report warns. Of course. I took that screenshot about 2 weeks ago. Explosive wildfires, and those are not all over the news at all. Brazil drought. Coffee production down 23%. Expected to fall to 23%. They cannot fully use their hydroelectric plants. Madagascar, hundreds of thousands malnourished, pushing the country to the edge of famine. So how many are actually dead due to water shortage? It's hard to say the warming, rising global temperatures, and shifting precipitations are already leading to more frequent droughts, and it's likely to get worse. Yeah, no shit. This is in Chile. This is the Pinellas River from 2016 to 2022. I think there's a little puddle left in the middle.